Departing Marquette, it's June 29th, 0700 hours. Behind me you'll see the Canadian Coast Guard departing. They came into dock last night to fuel up. They are on some scientific missions. I am heading towards what they call the cut. I'm going to have to look it up. And I have 58 nautical miles to get there. It's going to be a calm day. It's going to be a motoring day. Once again, this trip is less about sailing. It's more about just getting to the next stop safely. So as I'm departing Marquette, I'm looking at some beautiful rock structures right in the middle of the lake. And beyond that is a huge dome. I don't know what it is. We're going to have to look it up and put it on the screen. But as they were gassing up the Canadian Coast Guard last night, somebody was discussing that. And something about being one of the largest wooden dome structures ever built? I don't know. In existence, perhaps? I'm approaching another presqu'île, or isle, they actually say here, because they're Yoopers. They're Yoopers, Upper Peninsula people who pronounce things correctly. Unlike the trolls down in Lower Michigan, I've learned a lot being up here. It looks like a very pretty harbor, just like the other Presque Isle. Passing the Presqu'île lights, and over here in the distance you can see a taconite loader. This one is not decommissioned. There's actually a freighter next to it being loaded up. And off in the foreground, some damn gorgeous scenery. Passing between the mainland and a couple islands over there. Just gorgeous. Okay, this is already just becoming kind of annoying, because every time I round a corner the scenery just gets better and better, and at some point I'm just going to need to stop filming because I think I will be able to do this all freaking day. So one thing I'm noticing is you can see the lake is flat, very calm, even though I'm feeling somewhat of a breeze. It suddenly got cold. What I've noticed is as I get offshore here, I am slowing down, telling me that I am experiencing the Lake Superior current. I'm still doing over 5 because I have to average 5 today to make it to the cut before weather hits. So I couldn't sail this if I wanted to. Dead ahead I can see fog. Alright, as Bonnie said would happen, I am now in the fog. Got my whistle out. Visibility is not that bad. I'd say it's maybe a quarter of a mile, probably less. That fog is thick as all freaking gecko on shore. I've never seen anything like this. That's amazing. Like, by the way, I just got twice buzzed by 2 military planes. Came from astern and then from forward. And as they returned, one passed to my port and one passed to my starboard. And they were airshow close, so that was weird. Alright, I am rounding Big Bay Point. In the distance you can see the lighthouse. And to my right here is Big Bay. Apparently it's a good anchorage if you have the right wind conditions. Yeah, wow, look at that, another boat. It's very lonely out here, that's for sure. I think the nearest Coast Guard would be in Marquette, so they have a ways to come save me. On my starboard, you can see the Huron Islands. The large one is McIntyre, and these small ones over here are the Gulls. I see beautiful colors coming off the Gulls. This part of the shoreline has been absolutely phenomenal. And I still can't believe I have so long to go to the Apostle Islands. I don't know what I've gotten myself into. Oh well. I had to make a lot of tough decisions. The winds finally picked up from astern at about 13. That lasted all of 20 minutes. Now they've died down to about 10. Very tempting to at least get the Genoa out. But I am approaching Point Abaye, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. And I have a feeling that once I get around that point, the landmass will block the air and slow me down. And as I've said many times, I have to get somewhere. The weather has been overall pleasant today, though cool. I'm wearing a hoodie. I started off with long johns and foul weather gear and a hoodie. So got to take the long johns off, hoodie off on occasions. But it's constantly taking clothes off and putting them back on. Look at the mountains. When I think of mountains, I think of the Rocky Mountains, but clearly those are probably high enough to be mountains. In fact, I think I read that they're some of the oldest mountains in North America. I finally made contact with the real world, saw some radar. There's some weather heading this way. It seems to like break up on future radar once it hits the open waters on the other side of the peninsula. The point being is I need to get my butt in there. I am 8.44 nautical miles away from the Kinawa cut, and I still have about 2.5 miles to get to the anchorage. The forecasts are freaking hysterical. Winds 15 to 20, gusts to 45. What do you do with that? I mean, how do you set sails for that, right? Freaking ridiculous. Okay, so I don't know what time it is. Nearing 5 o'clock. I got rain coming in Houghton in 30 minutes. And I'm just now entering the passage, the canal, whatever you want to call it. It's cold as crap. Shoot, hold on. And my anchorage I want to go to is 2.5 nautical miles away, so that's going to be 30 minutes. So I'm going to take a break here, but this is what it looks like, Jim and Terry. All right, I have recovered. If you read Bonnie's book, Bonnie Doll's The Superior Way, this is the wall she is talking about where you can tie up to. The bowlers are pretty high up, so you're going to need some pretty long lines. She also says it can get rough there, and I believe her. I mean, I had a storm coming in from the west, so that would beat me up pretty good. I think that's a little harbor of Portage. That's an option. I could go in there. I have enough gas to get to Hancock and Houghton. So I don't think I want to stop. I really want to make my anchorage tonight. So this is the other wall of refuge that you can also tie up to. Yeah, you're going to need some long lines, nothing crazy, but it does not look very enticing. That's something I'd want to tie up to. Not with the weather that's coming, maybe in calm. So I'm really motivated to make my anchorage tonight. I want to try a really tight spot. It says 3 on the chart, but according to Bonnie, it's 10. But there's a lot of options once I get there, so I'm not all that worried about if that one doesn't work out. Holy crap, this is crazy. Look how close I am. And according to my chart plotter, I am in the middle of this very rugged terrain as I try to find my anchorage for the night. Boy, did I just have an adventure. I went to one of Bonnie Dahl's anchorages, and even though it was the wide open one, it looked really tight to me. I ran aground. I hailed any boats on the Kinawa Canal, let's call it, near the lower entrance. No one answered. I saw some people, I couldn't tell, fishing in some kind of vessel, and I blew my horn 5 times, blew it again. They got the hint, and we were able to yell across the water and communicate. And they went and got help. It was 2 young kids fishing and God knows what. It wasn't a real boat. So they went and got their dad. Dad, all of them are my heroes right now, because it would have been a long night if I didn't get out of there. He brought up his fishing vessel, tied it to the hook where you would pull it on a trailer, and pulled and pulled and pulled while I burst it, and that wasn't working. So he tried a different technique, and then he would just throw it in reverse and jerk the heck out of both of our boats. He did that about 3 times, and finally I broke free. So needless to say, I'm not trying that anchorage. I'm trying to go through to Houghton and just hope to God they have room at the inn, or I was going to go anchor up against that wall. So, quite the adventure. So I am anchored on Portage Lake. Behind me is Pikes Bay, which according to Bonnie, you can get in a very narrow area right over there if you skirt the marsh. And after Bonnie, well, I can't blame Bonnie Dahl, but after that experience, I'm like, I don't necessarily want to go in there. I'm not in the mood to get saved again. So I'm at the south end of Portage Lake. 17:30 right now. Nope, sorry, 19:30. Anchored up, got a firm hold. Again, we got a 50% chance of rain through tomorrow. So far, according to radar, everything's been skirting this area to the north. I'm exposed. This is about a 5-mile bay, 5 nautical mile bay. So anything coming from that direction's not good. But otherwise, I'm okay. According to the wind predictions, nothing is supposed to come from that direction, but so far nothing is as predicted on this lake. So it's June 30th, approximately 0715. Boy, did I have a bad evening. I don't know, 2:30 in the morning or so. anchor alarm went off, and storm was coming through. Long story short, put on my foul weather gear and sitting on that bow, pulling in that anchor. Lightning all around me. Bolts looking like they're right nearby. Relocated, still didn't hold, but I'm like, well, I'm only dragging 3/4 of a knot. I'll just, you know, wake up every 20 minutes and see if I'm near shore. And sure enough, eventually I was too close to shore for my liking. So I went out and did it again as it was raining even harder the second time through. Motored out to the middle of the lake. In a maelstrom. And threw the anchor down. Of course, by that time, they had calmed. And I could not ascertain if I held or not, but I kept taking 45-minute naps. Not very good ones either. About 6:30 this morning, I woke up debating what I was going to do for today. Checked the radar and got another wave coming here. So I decided to haul anchor and get to a marina. The Houghton County Marina is what I'm shooting for. And I'm trying to make it before the rain gets here. So I put the foul weather gear back on. I don't even know how far this is. It's not too much farther. I should make it before the rain hits. All right, I'm in Houghton at Bridgeview Park. Across the way is, in Hancock, is the Houghton County Marina. The slips were very high up. I can't even imagine tying up over there, and you'd have to use some kind of different kind of style. I can't think of the name right now to tie off, and just getting in and out of it would be difficult. There's a Little Mac Bridge, they sometimes call it, lowered to a abnormal level. Not sure why. Off in the distance, you can see a ski resort, and there is living a dream. I got a nap in, feel much better now. I was not happy this morning. Boat's getting a little beat up on this side when traffic goes by, but otherwise it's comfortable. Gonna go into town now and to explore. Oh look, another hill. So as you can see, the main road is quite active. I'm enjoying the very old signs of the Downtowner Motel. Over here we have the Ambassador Restaurant. There's the river, the canal. And it's quite a long strip. Not nearly as quaint as Marquette. A little too busy for my liking, but kind of cool. Okay, once you get into town, it's a little cooler than I initially thought. Some wonderful old buildings. Again, these fantastic old signs. It's like I believe it's called the facade of this building. Don't know what that is. Old theater sign. By the way, it's hot as all get-go today, so I'm not going to be exploring too long here.